Lucente Jewelers has been in existence for about, I'd say, almost 30 years, but we were strictly a wholesale company to start with. And then about 18, 19 years ago, we decided to open it up to the public and sell wholesale to the public. That was my idea, and it worked. We kept our place small, kept our overhead small, so that we could, keep our numbers down so that we could pass the savings on to the customers, and it worked. Surprisingly, now I didn't know this when I started in this business, but my great-grandfather from Italy was a jeweler. So I think it must just be in me, and I found it fascinating. I liked being able to bring something precious to the public and be able to give them an affordable price so that not just the few could afford these pieces, but that, middle class and lower middle class and could have a beautiful bracelet, a beautiful necklace, a nice pair of earrings, and feel good about themselves. So I enjoy that. When we buy our gold from, let's say we import our gold from Italy, many other places, but when we import it from Italy, we buy according to the gold market, and we buy by the weight, so much per gram. And there is a labor rate that's added on depending on the piece and how difficult it is to make. So in a retail situation, when they purchase that piece, they'll mark it up anywhere from 2 to 3 to 10 to 15 times what they paid for it. We don't do that. If we buy a piece for, let's say, back in the day when gold was trading at $2.50 an ounce, we used to buy at $7.99 a gram. We would sell at $8.99 a gram. Now, we're not making an awful lot of money. A piece would weigh, let's say, 7 grams or 10 grams. Of course, we're making very little money, but we would do it in volume. We sold to the customers and we sold to the jewelers. So, like BJ's, where you sell in volume, we were able to pass on that savings, providing we kept a small store, no bells and whistles here, everything is simple. We were able to pass the savings on and make a nice living and grow as a business. I especially love the diamonds. I find it fascinating, and I love to educate my customers on the diamonds. There's just so much to know, and there's so many things that can go wrong with a diamond. It's either a good investment or a bad investment. If you buy it right, and the right shape, and the right color, and the right size, all of these things factor into a good investment or a bad investment. And most jewelers don't bother to tell their customer about the proportions, the size of the diamond and what that means, and show them the wholesale sheet. Rappaport gives us a report once a week of what diamonds are worth wholesale. When I'm buying from a diamond dealer or I'm selling to a jeweler, we both have our Rappaport sheet out in front of us, and we know what we should be paying for the diamond or selling the diamond for. We're all on the same page. They would never show a customer the Rappaport sheet. I bring it right out, and I have the Rappaport sheet right in front of my customer. I explain to them what it is and what the wholesale price is, and a lot of times I'm able to take 10, 20, and even 30% off of the wholesale price, depending on how I bought that. But there's more to it than just the price. There's the grade, there's the color, there's the proportions. Most customers have no idea about proportions, but when you see all that beautiful scintillation in a diamond, that's because the diamond is well cut. The depth is a certain percentage, the table is a certain percentage, and customers should know that. And if it's not right, then they should get a considerable savings on that diamond. If they only have a certain amount of money, but they want a big size, okay, well, they have to sacrifice cut. And they can do that. I'm not a snob. I'm not saying they have to buy a perfect cut diamond, but they're going to know that they bought a diamond that was maybe too deep or something, and they made a savings doing that, but in the return, they may not get as much for their diamond. And this is what I love about my job. When men are coming in and women are coming in to get engaged, there's a whole emotional thing going on, and it's about the love and commitment for each other, and she has this whole idea of what she feels she should have, and that's great. And I want to help them find the perfect piece for them. So I try to mix a little bit of romance and, all of that beauty with a good sense of investment. So, for instance, a customer will come in and they want all the bling, and there's bling out there that, you can pay all the money for. And what I try to encourage is, yes, let's stay with the romance, but let's get most of your money into the center diamond for your investment. But then again, you have to realize that the mount, which is beautiful, it really is beautiful, and a tremendous amount of labor, they're not going to get any real return on that. And they need to know that up front. And then once you know that you've fulfilled your obligation by educating your customer and telling them, yes, this is beautiful, and this is going to cost you X amount of dollars, again, our price will be wholesale, but their return on that will be minimal. And then you go ahead and go with that.
I already did it, like with inclusion
Oh, here's a perfect one. This I think irritates me more than anything else. I hear jewelers say this all the time. There's a lot of carbon in your diamond. Okay, if you, I studied with GIA, the Gemological Institute of America, and also the Gem School of America. If you are a diamond expert, and I am, you'll know that a diamond is made of carbon. So to say that the diamond is loaded with carbon, of course it is. It is carbon. That's the diamond. What they're seeing is inclusions, different elements that are found in the diamond, which is formed in the earth hundreds of miles below the surface, and that's what it is. It's inclusions. It's little bubbles, little air bubbles. It's a different form of the carbon that's taken on a different color or a different line. So a jeweler, when he says, there's a lot of carbon in here, yeah, you want to just not walk, but you want to run out that door and get to the next jeweler who knows that the diamond is carbon. Wow. I hear it all the time. I mean, I do. I really, really do. Oh. If you walk into a place that has a large overhead, for instance, the stores in the mall, just imagine what their rent is, the insurance, the employees, you know, what is that? Well, anything, all the fees that they have to pay. Someone has to pay for that. They're not going to pay for that, and they have to make a profit. So yes, all the customer has to do is just look at the place that they're doing business with and see what their overhead is. If they're smart enough, you can research on the internet. You'll know what the gold market is trading. You can figure out there's 31.1 grams in an ounce. You can figure out exactly what that piece cost, providing you add enough on for the labor rate, $2, $3, $5, $10. Now, rings and earrings, that's a whole different ball game. That's not sold by the weight. That's all labor, you know, setting all those diamonds, that's very labor intense, so that's it. But I'm talking about bracelets, necklaces, you know, certain charms, certain pairs of earrings. Those are sold by the weight. We can sell them to the customer by the weight. Right, and I'm looking for the cut of the diamond. I'm looking for the proportions, the depth, the table, the angle of the crown, the pavilion, also the symmetry, how the facets line up from the crown to the pavilion, okay? So these things I look at, a well-cut diamond, there's some great cutters out there too. I think that's probably one of the most, there is not one aspect. You need the whole ball of wax. You should have, if you have everything, that's wonderful, but I would say size and cut. And then grade and color and, I don't know, I want it all. I want it all. I always have. And or if you've had your diamond in the same mount, in the same head, 6-prong or 4-prong head, for many years, 10, 20 years, those prongs are going to wear down and get weak and bend. That's a good time to change your head, especially if you've got a 6-prong. Prongs, it's gold. It's not steel. They're going to wear down, and people need to have them checked periodically, and their jeweler and their goldsmith will tell them if they need a new head, and respect that, because they're not going to say that unless it's true. So, yeah. When a customer comes in with an appraisal, what I've seen 100% of the time is jewelers are giving this really blown up retail appraisal for that diamond. And that's not the case. And they're not going to get that money from the insurance company, and they're paying all the premium on that. If you buy a diamond here, of course, you're going to see the Rappaport sheet, and you're going to pay the wholesale price, or even, like I said, 10, 20, or 30% below the wholesale price. I'm going to give you an appraisal with all the proportions, everything, all the bells and whistles will be on that appraisal. And the price will be the wholesale price. And I'll state that it is the wholesale price according to Rappaport in whatever month's issue I used. The insurance company is going to honor that price, because insurance companies have usually have a deal with a jeweler. And they say, okay, well, my customer just lost their 1 carat, and it's insured. It was appraised for $5,000, and would you give them? What will you sell me that diamond to give to them? And they'll sell it to them for $3,000, so which is the wholesale price on one particular diamond. So the customer has the option of either taking the diamond from that jeweler, which is not their jeweler, just the jeweler for the insurance company, or taking $3,000, but they just paid the premium on $5,000. But the insurance company is not going to give them any more than the wholesale price that the jeweler is charging them. So my customers, when they leave here, they know that they're going to have the wholesale price, because they can replace that diamond at that wholesale price, And that's what the insurance company is going to honor. And they're going to say, okay, if you lose that diamond, you can have it replaced at here, or here's the price, which is the price I put on the appraisal. So to answer the original question, which I went way off, 100% of the time appraisals, other than mine, are a blown up retail price, which is not realistic. And it's not fair to the consumer to pay the premium on that number. But they do, because they don't know. And they come in here with their appraisals. When they're selling their diamond, they say, oh, I have a diamond for $8,000. Really? You didn't pay $8,000, did you? No, I paid $4,000. Why should that say $8,000 if you paid $4,000? My customers pay, like I said, the wholesale price, and I put the wholesale price on the appraisal. A fair wholesale price. If I gave them a discount, then I go right with the wholesale price. We have customers that'll come in to sell us diamonds, because we do buy diamonds from the public, and they'll have bought their diamond at a jewelry store where they were promoting the low price, 1 carat for $3.99. And so they went in, they bought the diamond, and they thought, "Ooh, this looks beautiful. It's diamond, it's big, my girl's gonna love it." They bring it to me, and I say to them, "Did you ever bother to look inside?" It is almost like an industrial diamond. It is loaded with inclusions, and they never saw that. So no, a regular customer would never be able to tell, other than if you take two diamonds and put them side by side, and one is really well cut and the other is not, you can see the difference. You absolutely can see that one has beautiful scintillation, and you'll just see it. You'll think it sparkles more, whereas the other one will be a little bit dull. There'll be some flat spots. That's the proportion of the diamonds, and that's all they'll be able to tell. Grade and color. If a grade is an eye grade diamond, which is an inclusion is visible to the eye, they'll be able to see that. And an inclusion that they'll say, okay, well, I can see that. I know that that's not as good as this one that I can't see anything. They'll be able to see if a color of a diamond is K or L. They won't be able to tell a J color diamond. A true J color diamond is a beautiful white diamond face up, and only upside down could you tell that that was a J color diamond. So a K or an L, now there'll be a yellow hue to it. So if you put that beside an I or an H color diamond, which is near colorless, they would be able to see that. But again, they'd have to put another diamond next to that diamond in order for them to know what they were. That there's a difference. And yes, and they come in with these bogus appraisals. I'm sorry to say, they're bogus, thinking their diamond is worth thousands and thousands of dollars because somebody puffed up that appraisal, and it's not. And they never bother to show them inside of the diamond, and they don't know what they have. Whereas if you come here to buy a diamond, we're going to give you the loop. We're going to have you look inside of the diamond. We're going to have you plot out every single inclusion that is there. The proportions, we're going to show you everything about that diamond, and we're going to take a diamond that's maybe not as nice as this one and show you that, show you the difference, or something that's a little better than that, and we're going to show you the different colors. You're going to know everything there is to know about your diamond and your purchase and why you're spending X amount of dollars. So when you leave here, you can take your diamond to any other jeweler, and he's going to tell you exactly, if he's honest, exactly what I said it is, and you'll feel comfortable. Yes, a diamond is a good investment if you buy the right size, the right size, the right grade, the right color, the right proportion, at the right price. All of those factors have to be there for a diamond to be a good investment. If you buy a diamond, a great size, a great grade, a great color, proportion, and the wrong price, you're never going to get that money back unless you sell it out privately. If you sell it back to a jeweler is never going to pay you any more than they would pay a diamond dealer for the diamond. So you have to know that going in. So you want to buy a diamond that's going to appreciate over time, has to be the right size, grade, and color, and you'll get a nice return on your investment. Most of the time, diamonds will appreciate over the years, 10%, 5%, 3%. Every once in a while, you'll see certain diamonds, like the fancy cut diamonds. They will appreciate while they're hot, and then they'll go cold, like marquise and pears. Those are very cold diamonds. Nobody wants them anymore. So that price per carat is now dropping. That's why we try to tell our customers, round is the safest investment. 100 years ago, 100 years from now, round diamonds will hold their value. The fancy cuts are beautiful, and unless they're a very large size, I don't know that they're going to always hold their value. I know we've seen the pears and the marquise drop dramatically. So But we can always say that the round diamonds are the better investment, and with size. If it's an old diamond, there are different cuts. 100 years ago, they cut a diamond, a mine-cut diamond, a European-cut diamond. Those have a very big culet, which is the tip of the diamond. Now, if we want to sell that diamond to a customer today, we want to recut the diamond. So size is everything. If they bring us 1.5 carats, we know we can recut the diamond to a nice ideal proportion and end up with at least over 1 carat. That's a good investment for me. I'm willing to pay good money for that kind of a diamond. I'll pay more, though, if they bring me 1.5 carats that is already a round brilliant, a cut from today. The gold market has everything to do with the dollar and the economy, and our economy is very, very weak. The dollar is very weak, and so the gold is staying strong. How much weaker is our economy going to get? How much weaker is the dollar going to get? I don't know. There was a time at the beginning of this recession, you could see it coming, and you knew, buy it now, because, and we did. We were paying people, every day they walked through the door, we gave them all the money for the gold. And how we made our money was, we didn't sell it that day. We held on to it because we could tell the market was going to move. Now, if I buy the gold from you, I buy it today, and I try to sell it today because I'm uncertain where the market is going to go. My business associates believe that it will go higher. I, on the other hand, I'm uncertain. I would not give the advice to buy gold now, nor would I tell somebody not to buy gold either. I don't know. I don't know what the dollar is going to do. So if you have a sense of what you think the dollar is going to do, that should be your decision whether to or not to buy gold. Well, do your homework. Go stop at 2 or 3 places. Shop me last, please, because I guarantee you I'm going to pay you the highest dollar for your gold. But that's the only way you're going to be able to tell, is to go to a couple of places. Listen, everybody has to make a living, and that's just life. They have an overhead. You can't expect people to give you all the money. If gold is trading at $1,500 an ounce, they're not going to give you $1,500 an ounce because they have to pay their bills. And quite frankly, retail sales are down. Now, we're still selling diamonds because of our prices, but our gold bracelets, people aren't buying gold bracelets and gold necklaces anymore because it's too expensive. They've gone over to silver. So if gold is trading at $1,500, there isn't a jeweler around that's going to pay you $1,500 in this unstable market. Back when gold was at 1,000, or the market was, the dollar was tanking and the gold was rising, you could pay all the $1,500 because you knew tomorrow it was going to be $1,550 and next month it was going to be $1,600. They can't do that today, and neither can I. But so it's in their best interest to go from place to place to place. See who's giving what. Everybody's going to make a little money, but who's making the least amount of money? That's in their best interest.
The more personable you are with people, the more personable they are with you, and that's why my mother's business is so successful, because she is not all about the quick sell. She's all about information and informing the people exactly what the market is, what our competitors are offering, giving them an opportunity to shop around, and letting them have free will and free choice, and they always come back and stay with us forever. That's why she's built the reputation to sustain the size of a business that she has all by herself, and it wasn't through a quick sell. You know what I love about my mother's taste is that she has impeccable taste. She really has an eye for classy, crisp pieces that will sustain not just the trends. Simplicity is genius. And that's kind of the through line of my mother's selection. She goes for things that are going to be look really, really great at a cookout, and really, really great at an evening out, at a red carpet event or whatever. Things that can transition with you through different events that are going to stick with you. She's really great like that. She doesn't get really caught up in the clickety-clack of whatever's hot for the brand. I mean, we offer everything, but she's really made a staple for her name in class.